Hi everyone, and welcome back to What's the Buzz with B. So today's video is basically all about um, my labor and delivery story, and basically what I went through and the chaos that happened prior to going to the hospital. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin. We definitely got pregnant a year after we got married. I guess me and my husband, we kind of both knew what we wanted out of just our marriage and out of our future together. So we decided, we're like, you know what, let's get to it. Let's have a family, or let's start to have a family. So we started, and we just, by the time we knew it, we were pregnant right after, a year after we were married. And it was the most exciting feeling because I knew for a fact that I always wanted to be a mom. And I'm sorry if you guys hear any background noise, just want to put that out there. It's my little toddler watching her shows while I'm trying to film. So yeah, I just to be honest, we were so happy, we were so overwhelmed, and it was just that the feeling of I'm gonna be a mom was just extraordinary. I knew that's what I wanted in life, and I got it. So we just literally, we were so overwhelmed with joy, and we were already preparing things. We were looking for names. We were getting, looking for baby bags and all these things and baby clothes. And, by the time we knew it, it was time for me to deliver. Please let me tell you this, guys. Maybe it's just my body, but if anybody tells you that the labor part is easy, I've never heard anybody say that before. But if anybody does, for me, it was just the hardest part. And I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but I think I was super over dramatic about it. And the reason why I say this is because it all started my in-laws were not here, my sister-in-law was not here, everybody was back home. They kind of just left me, not on purpose obviously, but I don't think anybody had a feeling that I was going to be delivering that soon. Well, not too soon, but a week before my actual delivery date. And I just I remember speaking to my mother-in-law that night back home, and she was just like, how are you feeling? And I was just like, tonight it's a little harder. I feel a little bit of heaviness down below, below my navel. And, it's I'm getting more cramps than I usually do. And she's like, oh yeah, but it's just close to the time. So yeah, you're going to be definitely feeling a little bit of that heaviness. And I was just like, yeah, it's it's pretty, I can hold it, I can really manage the pain, but the cramps were period cramps, when you're in your menstrual cycle. So it was about 10:40 p.m. and it was time for us to go to bed, and I was super tired. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm just gonna well, I guess somebody wants to be on video. Say hi.
Hi.
So it was super hard, and I was like, you know what, now it's time for us to get to bed, and just, I was super tired anyways. And I was like, maybe these cramps will go away in the morning by the time I'm sleeping. So I still clearly remember it was Saturday night, and I literally got off of work Saturday night at 8 p.m. I went home. So I was like, the pain level is a 20, but he's like, a 20, that's a lot. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if that's what it is. It's my first time, so I didn't know what to expect. And he was just like, okay, well, let's wait another hour and see how everything goes. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's wait it out. The pain started at 3:30, I believe. And it was, I literally felt like I was rolling on the bed constantly, or just trying to find ways to like lay and sit and crawl. And it was so uncomfortable. 4:30 came and I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't like the cramping stopped. For me, the cramping was like every 2 seconds. And that happened every 2 seconds for a whole hour. About 4:30, 4:45, I was like, babe, I can't do it. Like, there's something wrong. And he was like, all right, I'm up. He got up. He helped me put on my leggings. It was so sweet. Got my leggings on, and that time we were at my mom's house. So I woke my mom up, and I'm like, we're going to the hospital. And she sees me hovering over like their wall, where there's like a half-end wall in their hallway. So I was like hovering over it, and I was just like screaming on the top of my legs. Like, my sister came out of her room and she was cracking up. She was laughing so hard, and I was like, it's not funny. And I was crying and screaming, and my mom's like, sweetie, all parents go through this. Literally, with that accent. And I was just like, Mom, like, this is not the time. I just, like, I can't, like, it hurts so much. She was like, yeah, imagine what we went through with like 2 to 8 kids, back in the days. And I was just like, yeah, y'all are crazy. Like, this is just, if this was the pain, then no. And I remember like sitting back to like 3 months into the pregnancy. I was watching videos and everybody's like, oh, it just feels like menstrual cramps. No, it does not, ladies. Who told you that? Who told you it feels like menstrual cramps? 'Cause it don't. It's 20, maybe even 25 times worse than menstrual cramps. Like, menstrual cramps you can handle, and you take ibuprofen, hot bag, and you're all done. Whereas, like, with these, it's okay. Sorry, guys. Whereas with, like, these cramps, it's uncontrollable, and you cannot have any pills to kind of ease the pain. So I was literally just like, all right, well, we got to get going because I just can't stand the pain anymore. And every moment I was walking, I was just like squatting, and it was hard. Get to the car, and guess what? Your girl right here can't even sit on the seat. I was standing the whole way on the passenger side. There were no cars on the road. We're taking the local road to the hospital. And my husband hits every, like, red light. Like, he stops at every red light. And I'm like, don't stop. Just keep going. There's no cars on the road today. It's 4:30 in the morning. Like, nobody's going to come and hit you. Just run the red light. Go straight. He's just like, are you crazy? And my mom's sitting in the back, and she's just like, Bushra. It's okay. Calm down. Nobody calming down right now. I was like, Mom, you're leaving the car. I'll tell Terry I'm going to come pick you up, because it's either everybody just shush and let me scream, or like get me to that hospital right now. It was an 8-minute ride, y'all. I felt like it was a 25-minute ride. Got to the hospital, and I remember me and my husband went through a tour of where to go, especially when we're in labor. So we did all that, and we got upstairs, and I remember at the nurse's station, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm having my baby. And the nurses, I love the nurses at this hospital, New York Presbyterian in Flushing, guys. They're amazing. And I remember clearly the nurse, and it had to be my people's, comes up to me. She's like, do you want a wheelchair? You want me to roll you into? I was like, no, I'm going to walk. I can't even sit. I can't sit. So I'm like walking with her. She's like, okay, I'm going to check you right now because we need to make sure you're dilated. And she's like calling her assistant, and she's just like, the other nurse, and she's like, oh my God, she's in labor. Like, we need to get the doctor. And she's also like, she takes me into the room where they check. And she's like, all right, I know that. And I'm like laying there, guys. And I was like, and screaming. Like, I was literally giving birth with no epidural. And she was freaking out because she was like, oh no, the baby's really coming. And she goes down there, and she says, sweetie, you're 2 centimeters dilated. Unfortunately, and I was like, wait, no. Before you get to unfortunately, what do you mean 2 centimeters? This pain is not 2 centimeters. Trust me on that. And she was like, sorry, sweetie, like I just checked. And in order for you to be admitted, you need to be 4 centimeters at least. And I was like, no. I am not taking that 20-minute, 8-minute ride back home and waiting to get dilated. And she was just like, well, I can see if I can make it happen and make you 3 centimeters at least. And I was like, how do you do that? And then she was like, well, I'm gonna take my finger and I'm just going to go in there and do some work. And I was like, what? So she was like, you're gonna feel a little bit of pressure down there. It wasn't pressure, it was like somebody tore up my you know what. But anyways, she got it to 3 centimeters, almost close to 4, and she was like, all right, well, I'll admit you. Get into my cozy hospital room, and I'm just still in pain. I literally have my butt up like in the air. Do you guys ever do like bridges while you're exercising? Literally in that form. And I was just sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness, like a bridge. And my husband's like, calm down. I was like, no, don't tell me to calm down right now. Don't tell me to calm down. So the nurse comes in, she's like, how are we doing? I was like, look, these, like, can we not do something about these contractions? Like, they're so horrible right now. And I remember the nurse saying, well, we can't really, we're waiting for like the anesthesiologist to come in so we can do your epidural since you are asking for it. To tell you guys, I did not want to do epidural ever. And that makes me emotional because I see my mom and she goes through a lot of pain right now. And I already had back problems. But I did take the epidural because the pain was just, I don't know, maybe it's not normal for everybody else, but for me it was unbearable. My pain tolerance is really low as well, so it was just really unbearable for me. An hour later, the anesthesiologist came and he was like, all right, you're gonna have to sit up. And I'm like, no, I can't sit up. He's like, you have to, because we're gonna put this literally into your spine to numb everything down below your waist, and you can't move. Please make sure, I know you're cramping like every 3 seconds or 5 seconds, but you cannot move whatsoever. And I was just looking at my husband like, I can't do this. And then he obviously had to go out. And he had me lean over a tray table like this and have my back straight. And he, kind of like went in. And everybody's like, that's the worst part, like the needle. I didn't feel anything with the needle. And the needle was this big. Like, I saw the needle and it didn't even freak me out because I was just like, I just want to get numbed. And I think like the contractions were so bad, so I kind of like forgot about the needle being in there. It lasted about 3 seconds and he just came out and he was like, all right, really good. And by the time I knew it, that was kicking, the anesthesia was just kicking in, and I was like, oh, this feels so good. Yeah, and then, like, I was just like, and all my family members, like, my cousins that I really wanted there were there for me. I remember my other cousin didn't even go to work. She came, and she was like, both of them were there for me, and it was, like, 10 a.m. already, and they were just like, okay, well, you're 6 centimeters now, and I was like, oh, my goodness, I got admitted, like, around 5 a.m., and it's 10 a.m. already, and I'm still not dilated completely. They were like, yeah, it takes a little time, especially if you're, like, a first-time mom. So we're just talking, and my cousin is like, if they come and tell you to do a C-section, go for it. And I was like, what? No way. And my sister's like, girl, you won't be able to handle a natural labor, do the C-section. I was like, no, like, I want to experience this, And she was just like, no. Okay, my cousin is a whole different story. Like, I give it all to her because she did it without epidural because the hospital actually ran out of epidural. So her pain was probably 50 times more than mine. She felt everything, even the sew, the stitching, even the cutting. So I get where she was coming from, but me, I was already on epidural, so I was like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna probably feel a lot of pressure down there, but I think I'll be fine to handle this. I got this. Around 12 p.m., the doctor came in that was going to basically be delivering for me, and he was just like, hey, look, this is what's going on right now. We've been monitoring you for an hour. You're about 7 centimeters, 8 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and every time you have contractions, we can't find the baby's heartbeat. So I was like, that's weird. And then they're just like, yeah, I mean, it happens. We're just going to wait a couple of, maybe in half an hour, another hour longer to see, if things change. An hour passed, and my doctor came up to me, and he was just like, hey, look, we're on crunch time right now. I don't think we should wait until you're fully dilated. We are thinking of doing a C-section. And I was just like, say what? Yeah, because we've already waited that hour, and we just went through another hour, and we can't find her heartbeat. And I was like, what? This is not happening. And they're just like, yeah, and we just really want to make sure that everything is okay, and we won't know until we literally get in there. And what ran through my head was, not even asking, can we not do something else? Please, please, please don't get me a C-section. I just literally consented to it. By the time I knew it, they were rushing me into the OR, and, 30 minutes later, they cut me open, and I have a beautiful, beautiful baby girl with the brightest eyes and amazing cry that I could hear of. And the doctor told me we got in there just in time because the cord was wrapped around her neck. And I was just like, thank you, Allah, for saving my baby and saving me, and just making me have a beautiful family, letting me have this beautiful family. And I was a mom, and my husband's a dad, and she was beautiful. She was perfect. All toes, all her fingers, everything was amazingly beautiful. Everything after that in the hospital, can't even tell you, because I was so under that medication. I didn't even know they placed her on my chest. Didn't get to experience all of that. But yeah, so this is basically just to kind of let everybody know that it's not always peaches and cream, and it's not always beautiful, and a lot can happen towards a lot of people. So it's not always great, and it's not always easy. So, yeah, that's what this story is about, and I would really love to hear your guys' labor and delivery stories. So, just give me a shout out, put some comments in there, and, just hope those parents or the to-be moms, your delivery and labor is a lot easier than mine's and isn't difficult as mine's. And, we are planning to have more kids. So hopefully, it gets easier for us and for me, for the moms out there. Yeah, so please give my video a thumbs up, guys, and make sure you subscribe below to my channel to get more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.